There we go. Ah! All right, guys. When I tell you they never cut my grass this early, it's usually like around 11 and 12. And they were not here when I was getting prepped and ready for this. So they are out there cutting the grass. And you might hear, meow, meow. I don't know. Okay, guys. So if you do, my apologies. I've tried to set it so that it doesn't pick up on background noise, but you know. Okay. I was gonna do the weekend read, and then it was like, oh, it's the 8-8 portal. And for those that don't believe in the 8-8 portal, move along. This is for those who do. Okay. We're going to be pulling some cards and using the energy of today to see what kind of messages want to come through. What type of influences are going to be coming in? I will probably do several readings today. I am going to try to get to where it was. I set it down and some peanut butter. Anyways, I guess the vacuum anyway. I don't care. So yeah, we're gonna pull some cards for that. I will do another read that has the for the weekend if this doesn't feel pertinent to just the weekend. But I just wanted to take advantage. I wanted to take advantage of. Can you hear me? Because usually the little okay, now it's starting to move. Okay. Hey, okay, because I'm like the thingy. Okay, good. Like the thingy's usually moving, and it wasn't moving, and I was like, why? What is going on? Anyways, again, so let's go ahead and pull some cards. Friendly reminder: you are a sovereign being of your life. You get to determine if, how, when, where, why any of these messages might apply. So my suggestion to you would be not to Cinderella shit to make it fit. Okay. Okay. Alrighty. Well, since it is the portal, I wipe things on my boobs. And again, y'all know that I do the lives because I'm not very good at uploading my shit. I have like 7 videos to upload. I don't know why. I don't know why I don't upload videos very well. I'm just like, I get done doing the reading and I'm like, I'm good. I'm gonna take a break and I just won't come. I'll think about it. Okay, so the feeling of fall. So autumn, like you know when autumn first begins, and you got those cool crisp mornings, but it's not like freezing yet. It's not freezing during the day, but it has like that really good air. Like you go outside and you breathe in, and it's got that good air, and it just makes you feel all kind of nostalgic. That's what it's feeling like. It's feeling really good. Of course it does. Sorry, you can't see shit. Change beckons. All right. I'm gonna give him a dirty look as he walks. He rides by meow. Can you hear him? I know he's here only because I decided to get on. He's right up against my window. And now he's pausing, checking his phone. Motherfucker, go. Go! Sometimes I think this like spirit's just like little shits. So I don't know if this is gonna trigger anybody, but it's like change beckons, trust the universe, and use your intuition. And it's one of those things where it's like it's slightly irritating because it's like feeling around in the dark kind of thing. Like you could just shed light on it, spirit. You could just do that. You could just kind of you could give me some direction. You could just tell me. You could give me an inkling, some cliff notes, some something. path is shifting, the road leads new way. Do not be alarmed as change beckons today. Intuition has wandered and led you astray. Intuition has wandered and led you astray. Meaning like your intuition is kind of taking you off on like a detour somewhere. Like like what seems logical and pragmatic, and I'm gonna, um what appears to be the right course, or what appears to be coming or heading to you, or what appears to be in the foreseeable future is not, because intuition is like it's not aligning with the world around you, with what you're seeing, with what you're experiencing, and what your brain wants to say. This is the logical next step, or this is the logical whatever. Well, intuition is like woo off road. Think of a map, and it's like you're trying to ride on roads that are already paved. So you're looking at the map, and your intuition is telling you to go off this way. And it's because you're meant to create your own path, right? We always know this. But it's like a dirt road, if that. So intuition has wandered and led you astray, meaning like you feel like it's taking you off course. You feel like it's taking you off of familiarity, which it is. It's notorious for that. It feels like I just want to be like, again, that's really what I want to do. I'm like, are you serious? Why can we just like have a nice paved path? This can we just make it? Do we have to do it like this? Does it have to go this way? Like I almost feel like you want to see. Yes, it's the fucking map. Like I can see the road on the map because and that and you can almost like Queen of Swords, eagle eye view. I can see all the twists and turns and the possible congested areas and blah 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 blah. And it's like it's you don't want to fucking wing it so damn much. The timing's not yours. Oh, let me just take on human form, please, spirit, so we can box because I'm throwing fists at air with that shit. But the universe at play. Which it does. It feels like the universe is just fucking with you, just playing with you. Like the idea, like when I was just like, like the dude mowing the fucking lawn. Are you like universe? I know you're doing that shit on purpose. Like it's a very mischievous kind of like, you know those people that have like they just poke. They're like, and it's like their version of play is kind of not sarcastic, but like I just want to be like, universe, you are standing on my last nerve. Tread lightly. And it's kind of like it's very childlike. Like a kid that's like you know what I mean? Like right on that last nerve, and you're like, I'm not. And at the bottom it says have faith and breathe. You're gonna get it's gonna feel it feels slightly aggravating in a playful way. Like I just want to be like, you got to be kidding me. I think that there's just gonna be some kind of like pivot where you're like, no, you did not. It's I want to say it's like the universe is giggling because they already knew how you were gonna react. They know you're gonna do it. They know you're gonna go it, but you're just like, I just feel like I've I keep saying I feel like because I do. You know the friend that kind of like wants to go out with you, and they know that you have been oogling a certain somebody, and so they unintentionally, intentionally set it up so that you run in, and you walk in the room, you're like, are you like they kind of knew. They knew all along, and you're just like, I'm going to whoop your ass. You know what I mean? You walk into the room, you're not prepared, but it's what you wanted. You know, you were hoping to run it, and they just coordinated it all, and then they get to sit back and watch you squirm. That's what it is. The universe is going to watch you squirm. And then the intuition card. Mother. Okay. You're like put on the spot with this. Yeah, something's gonna sprung on you, and that's why you want the map. You're like, "Just let me know when that moment's coming, the timing's not yours." Well, mother hanger. Alrighty. Like, you just wanna feel like you got it, but the thing is, anytime you feel like you've got it, you've got, like, a million scenarios planned out in your head and a million responses, and you're not in the present moment, and you're not behaving like you, and so I just feel like this like something's going to happen in the universe's timing. You're not going to get the map for it. You're going to have to wing it. You're going to have to listen to your intuition like on the spur of a moment. And it is going to be a surprise. And Spirit's going to thoroughly enjoy it. Like, I just feel like they're like, watch her, watch her, watch her. She gonna lose her shit. She gonna lose her shit. And you do internally, and you're just like, hmm. Um, Simple, complex words of pain are words that heal. You come to know the truth by the way that it feels. And that's what it is. This puts you in when you don't know ahead of time, you have no other recourse than to resort to your primal instincts and intuition. Like what's at the base of who you are. That's when they're saying primal instinct, like who you are at the core. Because you don't have any preconceived like you can't prepare for it. It's something that you don't get to prepare for. Um because you don't act as authentic when a preset. You put yourself on a preset when you get to think about it and figure it out and contemplate it and da da da. And they're like, we want you knee jerk reaction because there's something about when you are put on the spot. This motherfucker, you don't need to go back and forth that many motherfucking times. He's literally going in circles, spinning in circles right in front of mine. Boy, you can be irritated at Spirit with this, but it's like by the time it happens, it's too late. You're just gonna have to. You're just gonna have to. Are you fucking kidding me? There's something about I don't know. There's something about spur of the moment, in the moment. You have no other recourse than to be authentically you. Because I feel like this revved up energy, this, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just like I think Spirit wants you to unravel because that might be the best aspect of you. Like you can't conjure up a character, so you respond to something totally as you, and there's certain things that get seen, witnessed, and experienced in that moment or like that when you're like that. When I tell you this motherfucker is just in front of my window going like this, I don't irritated is an understatement. Irritated is an understatement. Anyways, okay, so spur them. I'm not fucking lying. He just went off. I think other people are meant to see you au natural, like where you can't conjure up a character, where you can't put on a facade, you can't put on a mask. It is just whatever they get. Like there's some people are meant to witness you. And I honestly, it feels like you're gonna just. It's like an unraveling. Like you can't hide how you're feeling. You can't hide your personality. Like you're just the energies are going. Everything is nothing gets to be planned out about this. Okay? Starman Tarot. So your path is going to shift. You're going to be going a new way. You don't get to see exactly what this is going to do or where it's going to put you. You don't get to see the road ahead of time. You do have to just trust the universe as they do this. And it's like, you know how like when somebody like your friend, if she were to he whatever, it takes you somewhere and it's like once you're there, you can't fucking lose your shit on them because you're there and people are seeing you. And the motherfucker that you like is there. And you're like, I swear to God. So you don't get a chance to like, you know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why it's kind of like you're not gonna back out of this. Oh, that's the other reason. Spirit's like, if I do this, you won't be able to back out of the moment. See, if you know ahead of time, you try to control it. And if the circumstances and situations don't align with exactly the way that you have preconceived notions and how you played it out in your head, then you'll put up barriers and blocks and energetic, no, 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 not yet, this kind of thing. So spirit's like, sink or swim. And you're gonna swim. Because I mean, it's too late to lose your shit. You're just gonna have to go with the flow. You better, just like your wingman, the friend. You're like, you better be ripping my soul this entire time. You better not go nowhere. You know what I mean? It's like that's the universe is your friend. Okay, and you're like, you better fucking walk with me. You ain't leaving this room. There's no backing out of it. Mm-hmm. See, we got the Four of Swords and the Nine of Swords. What I find funny is that these are the opposites, right? This is the level of anxiety that's gonna, and then the Four of Swords is taking yourself out of that, addressing it. There's something about the way this is gonna happen. If you knew things ahead of time and you understood the path ahead of time that you're about to embark on or what was about to happen, and the funny thing is, this is a short path. I keep seeing a short fucking path. This isn't like, oh, the next 10 years. That's not what they're talking about. They're talking about something really soon. This is 884. This is very time sensitive. I don't necessarily know if it's the weekend, but I'm just saying, like, it's Leo season for sure. And we've got like 2 weeks left of that. And so it seems like a very short path. You experience less anxiety, fear, and um, less anxiety and fear by this than you do if you see how things are going to play out. If you have a pre-paved path, if you got to get glimpses and an understanding of how things are going to unfold, like that actually, whether you admit it or not, puts you in a place because then you were in this prolonged state. I'm getting also like very neurodivergent type of energy where it's like when you're under pressure, you chef's kiss. When you have time to get anxiety induced, it's like you lack the ability to control your level of anxiety and fear and um I'm getting very Virgo-y like analysis paralysis when you have a full understanding of how something's going to completely unfold. Because then you live in that state the whole time, or you have the propensity to do that. When things are like you perform, you do so much better and manage your anxiety, and you take that bitch and you take control of anxiety when things are more spur of the moment, when the pressure is on, when the pressure is on. Something about this, whatever is going to happen, is temperance. This is the thing that's going to make the change to alchemize the situation. Temperance usually, much like the star card, which we have out here also, uh, has that 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on land, right? It's the idea of, but in the temperance, there's this alchemy happening, this transmutation. So it's like making something that's making something a reality. So the reason why spirit is guiding you down this path, star card, you're following spirit, is to make something real, to bring a desire into fruition. We have the Page of Wands. I also feel like your life is supposed to start. And then we have the Six of Wands. It's going to guarantee. I feel like I channeled those cards before I even looked at them. That's the idea of spit it out, Shauna. Like, again, if you were given too much in advance, you you have the propensity or a higher likelihood of living in that state. And it's from the anxiety of something, wanting things to really go well, wanting to perform well, that you end up trying to control the situation. You say you just want to be prepared, but really you end up trying to plan it all out and add little things and take things away and perfect it. And it's like, you are not yourself. You are not who you need to be when you're doing that. And while that can be very beneficial at times, not this time. And so they're going to put you in your very neurodivergent, like it's a skill, it's like a gift and a curse, right? The ability to do that, right? Because sometimes we could overload ourselves, always constantly waiting to the last minute because we perform better. That procrastination that allows us to perform better, that's kind of what they're playing on right now. They're like, I'm going to wait till the last the fucking moment. And somehow you just manage that anxiety, that fear, and you're just like, fuck, I'm already here, got to do it. And you just, something about you, I don't want to say perform, but that's why I want to, like, you perform better like that. You didn't have any time to pack your masks in your bag or anything else like that. You literally have to rely on your base, not instant, like the base, your foundation of who you are. You got no tricks in the bag to pull from to try and, and I feel like you actually have the ability to kind of like be malleable. It's very, and it's all gives like a very Gemini energy where you can be whatever you need to be in any moment with any person. And they're like, but we need you to be you. But when you have time to think about it ahead of time and you get to look at situations, you get to analyze it, you're like, no, I think this mask would be better. I think this, and again, these are all aspects of you. But it's like, no, no, no. We want raw, unedited, unfiltered you in this moment. But you tend to kind of like you try to, and it's not a here. It can be a negative, which is why they're, you know what I mean. But it's also positive. So like this isn't you being fake. It's you just, this is what makes you so fucking adaptable, right? But in this situation, you've got to be just you, and you've got to like, it's like shooting from the hip almost, is what I want to say. And that's what's guaranteeing the success, the Six of Wands. I just get in the moment, like when you realize what's happening, because you're gonna hit the moment where you're like, fuck. It's like when your blood pressure just shoots up all of a sudden in a moment, and you can feel your blood rush to your head, and it almost feel like it's boiling over inside, but yet outside you're very. You don't have a chance to hide your quirks, your uniqueness. You don't get to try to. It's like you try to find out what parts of you are appropriate in a certain situation, which ones are not. Um, you are whoever I mean, very quirky, very. You may be considered over the top sometimes. You may can be considered too much. Your energy may be considered too much for certain situations. You may, um, hello. Uh, I just feel like you've learned that you have to adapt to certain situations that it's few and far between when people can really take you in all of your entirety, right? It might be too much, whatever that means for you. You may be accustomed to strange looks. You may get into situations and you realize, oh, I should, like in this particular room, I shouldn't have said that because people are looking at me like, what? You know what I mean? Like they're not on your wavelength. If you have any masks with what's about to happen, I feel like things are not going to go according to plan because if you adapt in any way, if those quirks are not present, what they want to happen may not. So this tells me that whoever's witnessing you in this moment, you're like, oh my god, um, that is the thing that they're looking for, not a tailored version of you. Oh, good. Well, I mean, you know what I mean, like. So off the cuff, we got Seven of Cups and Nine of Wands. And it's almost like when there's too much choice, too much uh confusion, your walls go up. We got Nine of Wands. So you would think that if they throw you into the deep end of something, that you're gonna throw up your walls. That's not what's happening. Tailored version, that's what creates confusion for you. Fuck. Um, okay, so you know how sometimes you can have so much freedom to choose anything that you can't choose anything, right? You're like, like sometimes too much opportunity or too much freedom can feel like an oppressive situation, like the weight of the world, right? And it seems like when you okay, I feel like the Seven of Cups is like seven faces of you, right? Like seven different kind of varieties. Um, that's actually your wall. Makes sense, right? If you feel like you are always outed in a situation or in different spaces, like people can just look at you and be like, okay. Even if they don't, like even if they try to cover up and they try to be really, you're like, I can sense that y'all are like, who is this oddball in here, right? Um, you have created these faces. It's like I've got so many aspects of myself to choose from. So many, which one's right for this one? Those are your walls. Those masks, those uh, uh, tailored versions of yourself, which have those are the walls to protect you, so that you don't get all that weird. Weird is good, by the way. Those odd responses, that odd energetic uh, tension. So that I think you've learned to do this so that you can actually progress in certain situations and circumstances. Um, but honestly, it those are really. I mean, when you're really honest, those are walls because it's a defense mechanism for you, so that you can feel successful. Um, because generally speaking, unfiltered, unfettered you either burns bridges, isolates yourself, which are not necessarily bad things, right? Like you find out real quick where you fit in. When you're utterly being authentic to yourself and in your fullness, you also I just get this feeling of like you might run off with the mouth a little bit. You're quick to call some shit out. And if you're the person that's always naming the elephant in the fucking room, and people just want to get along, go along, get along, feel, you know what I mean? Let's not rock the boat. I just, life is hard enough. I don't, like that also isolates you, right? So it's been a protective manner because you may have found that that is the reason why you don't progress in situations and circumstances, and so you kind of like curtail things. And something about it is a little bit fun because I'm getting a very Gemini energy. Like it's not always a burden, and I know what we hear a lot of times um, online, especially in social media, about people who are neurodivergent who end up getting burned out, right? And I think that you might have more experience getting burned out being yourself just because you get tired of having to sift through and deal with the varying like I don't know. I just feel like it's a game. Like I don't get a feeling of being burnt out from this. Maybe one day it would, but it's just always behooved you, and it's almost like a game. You know what I mean? It's like, who do I want to be today? How do I want to behave? And again, all parts of you. Nothing's really actually fake. It's just that you put other things on the shelf. So you've built this method of dealing with things because it ensured your safety, your progress, and it also kept some people out, right? They're showing me this hat, like it's a hat you pick up and put on and take off when you want to. There's just a need for spirits like we don't want you to have a choice in this. Like they know you. And they're also having a conversation now because I'm getting like the seven of cups. Like if spirit leaves you in confusion sometimes though, because again in life that has really behooved you. And in the times when you're completely no mask, you also had a choice. Because I just feel like it's a detonation button. You're like, what am I gonna be today? And then you realize I want to be anarchy. I want to fucking just, I want to be the disruptor in the room. Yeah. And you get a choice when you do that. You see what I'm saying? You get to choose. But when spirit doesn't let you be the when you're left in confusion and like it's like control. It's like when am I playing? When am I me? When am I da 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 da? And spirit takes that choice away from you and it's now theirs that you also have that's when walls come up. You get defensive, you get like attitudey. This is like the friend that wants to like introduce you or set you up, right? It's like if they're like, I'd love to introduce you. Duh, I can't stand it when somebody tries to set me up. It'll be au natural. And so the bitch goes behind your back and creates a situation where you run cross paths. And you're like, you fucking, right? Right. Like that's where because if she tried, like if she, you have control issues, is all spirit's trying to say. And it is like, I want to say it's a part of your, like, it's a mainstay in your personality of who kind of like that's what makes you the magician because you can wield so much because you can influence situations circumstances because it has worked for you and it's not something spirit wants you to lose. It's just that there are times and boy can it irritate the shit out of you. Hmm. And spirit's having a conversation now where they're like, look, that's why you gotta trust. They're telling you now because they run the risk of you going, well, I ain't fucking doing it. And like just throwing the walls up, period. Balls to the wall, right? Like you fucking try me, spirit. Try me. You know what I mean? And so you just block it all. You're like, fuck it. Don't you leave me out in the and they're like, you need to trust us. They're giving you an understanding of why they gotta do it this way. And I know you're probably there. Yeah, but if you tell me ahead of time that that's how I need to be, I'll push the detonation button when they're like, "No, you fucking won't. No, you won't. Just trust us for once." And I get a bit of attitude from your spiritual team, like, we thought you were really in line with your intuition. What, you can't fucking wing it? I feel like those people who like will be like, uh um someone refuses to do something, then like, what, you scared? And then suddenly they're like, I'm scared. Like, I feel like it's a little like that. The pokey. Like, I feel like like you and your spiritual team poke each other sometimes. You don't have a fluffy relationship with spirit. You might hate chaos, but also thrive in it. This is definitely giving like dark feminine energy to me, where you've learned to play in the chaos versus you used to be really greatly impacted. So you cultivated the skill of being able to wield and manipulate the energies at play and the situations, because chaos really bothered you. So that idea of all the faces, all the aspects of the self, all the, it initially started as a need, again, that sense of protection and everything else like that, to repel. But you got so fucking used to it that you play in it now. You have fun with it. So it has a very mastery of the dark feminine energy. See, if given the chance, we got the Two of Swords, where it's kind of like, you see how it's that liminal space of not making a decision, not following through. Good morning. Um, Two of Swords. It's the, I don't know, analysis paralysis. I also get a very obstinate energy. Like, if you get to the precipice of something and you feel like spirits like, do this, but you don't like being told what to do. Why do I feel like sometimes you do and some, if it's the right situation, go ahead and tell me what to do. But otherwise, fuck you. This, you see how like she's not making a decision, and so I want you to get close up on this. It is ripping this bitch, just pull it apart, just um, and it could be a sense of this, because we have the Justice card, and she's holding the heart in one hand and the brain in the other. Sometimes your brain, which is so Gemini, God, um, like when I tell you the mental realm is their playground, like they fucking have fun with it. I'm a Gemini. uh, it's, I'm like, I understand. Um, Sometimes you're fucking like, your intuition is going to be more aligned with your heart, but your brain, like, sometimes it overrides. And justice is like, and that's where this is, where it's kind of like you get into this, yeah, you'll get into the game of it rather than the experience of something. Again, time and place for that shit, but not this time. And so, in order for something to go right, for things to be, I just feel like something to happen as it should. Justice card, but I want to say balancing, and they want to pull me back from balancing things. Right? There's just a time and place for that, and then there's a time and place for your intuition. You know that you don't really want to be told that, but like if spirit didn't give you a heads up towards this, then there'd be beef, and so they're like, FYI, we aren't going to give you, and you're not going to be able to think your way through or manipulate. the energies in this situation. So just know you're gonna have to show up. It's gonna happen in the spur of the moment. There is a change that needs to happen, and this is exactly how it's going to happen. Um, and again, you come to know the truth by the way that it feels. You will react accordingly. They don't want you making this decision. So there's a decision involved. I think it's a little bit more than just how you behave in a moment, right? Like how you're going to show up. It's not that kind of a decision, even though that's a part of it. They want to take that decision away from you. But this is the idea that there is a decision to be had, and they don't want they want you to, from instinct, from intuition, not from the mind. You can't plan how you want to experience something and make a decision accordingly. This has to be very how it feels. So you're going to be faced with a situation or circumstance that you're going to be thrown into. You're not going to have a heads up on. I feel like you're like you better you know what I mean, in the moment, but you'll rise to the occasion because there's also something in you that's like, I just get this idea like you won't back out of it. You'll show the fuck up. And you'll show up real, like just chef's kiss, in my opinion, is the way that it feels. But from that, like you have to be your raw and edited self. Like some of the parts that other people would think is cringe, and something about you being, when you're put on the spot like this, all fucks are like out the window because you have no other choice. But I get solar plexus like to operate from your power center, and that there's no fucks given there. Like I don't give a shit what people think. If somebody's gonna if you get put on the spot, you get what you get. You don't throw a fit. Like this is it. That's really where they want you, and that's what needs to be witnessed. Like I get a witnessing of this. There's something that some way in which you show up and present yourself or display yourself, and that is what feels like comes a choice in. So somebody you may present in a way and somebody's like, hey, what about such and such? And I feel like it's like in the moment you make a decision because you're in the moment already, just guttural, primal, instinctual, just you are your base fucking self. And so it's kind of like, and again, I feel I get this shoot from the hip. So I'm surprised that the Knight of Wands is not out here because he shits or get off the pot, right? He's not one that hems and haws. He makes decisions and he's like, he'll go for it. No hesitation. And that's also the energy that you need to be in. So there's like when you're already like, fuck it, something gets proposed to you or something like a decision is presented and you make a decision in the moment. Night Sun Tarot. I'll be knocking stuff off. Night Sun Tarot. Well, I tell you, the longer I go, the less people are like, oh, it's not for me. I got it wet. What's the decision? If I may know. This does really go along with Leo, though. Because there's a sense of cockiness, not arrogance. Confidence. Oh, you're a real confident person when you're just like having to wing it. You're like, fuck it. I just get this sense of, fuck it. Why not? You do prefer to choose to be in that energy, to choose how you're going to show up. I also get this feeling of not everybody deserves to. You have come to the conclusion in life. Not everybody deserves that full you. case I keep. Mm. So we have the Page of Cups with the Ace of Cups. Page of Cups, it's something enjoyable. I always say the Page of Cups is just the beginning. There's always something more to it. So you might be like, I get the sense of there's something very flirty, charming, and fun that's presented to you, this decision. And it's like I get the feeling it feels good. See, when you're in this energy, you're just gonna go with like you don't think, is this a good idea? No, oh, that sounds good. Let's do it. Like you will say yes because it's something. Like Ace of Cups is really like self love. Like what do I like? What do I desire? What do I want? Like it's all about you, right? So in the moment, it's like, yeah, very Knight of Wands. There's a shiny thing. I'm going after it. Like I don't even hesitate. There's zero hesitation, but it's presented very fun, flirty, but and innocent. Like why the fuck not? But there's something more to it. There's something more to it. Clarify. Because I don't want to go over shit we've already talked about. So if this is something where in the moment you're going to hesitate, because we've got the Eight of Swords here, which is self-imposed limitations. Whatever's brought about, it's like, because look at the way that she's doing this. She's looking the other way like she took it from somebody, like, gimme. That's all I keep hearing is gimme. Why the fuck not? But can I also just say the more thing that might come from something that seems just really like playful, fun, charming, flirtatious, like, ooh, okay, kind of thing, like not with zero expectations. It's just a little something, something, you know what I mean? Maybe some kind of love that might come from that normally you would hold back from. It's very unsuspecting. Like it may present like I'm just gonna do this for fun, and you know the extra thing that happens. It's just give me more on the Eight of Swords because I don't feel you holding back. See, that's what it is. So if you're Justice, if you're using your brain again, if you were in your plotting and planning, like how am I gonna whatever, how am I gonna show up? Do I really want to do like you want to control stuff too much? That's how you always end up holding yourself back from stuff. And then when you're in this Eight of Energies, we're like, all these thoughts, all these scenarios, all the way that it's supposed to. It's like you're in the flow with this. And when you say yes and it's really unsuspecting and you're just going off the way it feels and it feels like, oh, that'd be cool, that'd be fun, oh, I'd love that. Like why the fuck not? Like you're not in your head, right? So again, it this may be a quick turnaround. If somebody asks you to do something or proposes something or is like, why how about this? You will Knight of Wands that shit. Impulsively fucking say yes. And I feel like there's gonna be a quick turnaround so that you don't get into the Eight of Swords. Because again, it's a short path, a short distance. Because whenever you're in the Eight of Swords, it then requires a lot of strength, right? You have to calm that inner beast, that lion. And so you're kind of like, it it just requires a lot more of you. But when you're in this energy, you don't feel like you got to be brave and strong and conquer that inner voice and things like that. Why are you bringing this one up though? I feel like we covered that, and so I'm like, am I not touching on what you want me to touch on? Give me a sec. I get so with the strength card where he has to tame the inner lion. It's almost like, yeah. See, your need for perfectionism might rear its ugly head. Like they want you to ride the wave of the high of you being like your unfettered self. Your fuck it. Because again, when something is given to you ahead of time, you can get into your mind, you ride that anxiety and the fears for a long time, and you stay in that space for a long time. And it takes a lot for you to have the courage. Because the Eight of Swords is giving me a sense of when it's self-imposed, it's like some insecurities might come up. We have the King of Swords, Ace of Swords, and the King of Pentacles. I keep wanting to make the King of Swords and King of Pentacles the same, but they don't quite feel the same energy. But the King of Swords is somebody who, when they're very decisive. And I always say the King of Swords is someone who makes a decision and immediately acts on it. Because it's not a decision if you don't act on it. It's just a thought then. He has follow through with what he decides. But in this one with the King of Swords, the sword is down. So something is not necessarily known. And the heart is in the cage down here. I feel like you're going to say yes before you realize what the fuck is up. Again, before you realize this cup is going to come out. So you're the King of Swords. There's this element of, I already made a decision, so I'm going to follow through with it. Like you won't backpedal. But you're not anticipating. There's something you don't see with the sword down. I almost feel like I shouldn't tell you, but I've already told you. There's a cup. Like love might be on the table as a result of this. Why do I get the feeling like your brain might fuck it up sometimes when we're talking about love and this play, your version of play, and like how you see situations, and then this level of perfectionism and wielding of the energies and manipulation of how things turn out, and like you just play too much for spirit sometimes. Because I feel like before it's too late, like it's gonna be too late by the time you realize. That's what the Ace of Swords is. By the time you realize something, you're like, you're already in it. It's already happening. Kind of like that scenario where I was like, when you walk in the room and you realize your crush is there, and you're like, you look at your friend like, you bitch. No, you fucking, and it's like you're already there. But also, like it's like a series of events where you feel like back to back, spirit is pranking you and setting you up and poking you, and just like there's a song by LP called Strange, And she says in that you've found the right ones when they stoke your fire and sit back and watch you explode. Like, this is, I feel like spirit's doing this to you. Because not only are you not seeing walking into the situation to begin with where you have to act and behave your true authentic self, but then you are immediately followed up by a decision that then places you into an unsuspecting situation. And it's like only again to yet realize you didn't. I just feel like when I want to look at spirit like they're my best, like, bitch, are you serious? Like, you're just like back to back, like, fuck, I am not in, what the fuck? And you have to, like, it's unsuspecting. I want to know who King of Pentacles is. The person you're moving towards. There's a person. Is this the person that, okay, the person that propositions, that gives a decision? Is this the same person? You find out the truth about the King of Pentacles. Oh, yes. Nine of Cups. I'm going to be real and honest. About 5 or 6 years ago, there is a moment where I got a reading and I just knew this bitch was right. I don't know how to explain. I got a reading and she was like, if you get invited out, just say yes. If you did it, just say yes. And like, was talking about like, especially if it's for music, so someone's gonna proposition you for like go to see some music or watch a band or do something. You've got to say yes. You've got to say yes, right? And here's the thing: someone did within 4 days. Okay. And I was prefaced like, it was like, don't worry about whether, like, just go with the flow. Let spirit lead you, right? And I was like, okay. I got asked to go to a music fest, and I was like, yes, we're heading there. We get to the place, we park, we walk up, and we're both not feeling it. And the person I was with is like, you want to go, just go do whatever? And I was like, okay. I could have been like in my head, no, they said music fest. No, 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 that's not what they said. You're going to get invited to a music festival. You're going to get invited out for some music. You need to say yes and then just go with the flow. So I got into the moment and I had to trust the universe. That was like around 7 o'clock. We ended up being out until 5 o'clock in the morning. Decided to go and get food. There was one place that was like, we went from place to place. We were on one side of town to the next. And by the time we were done, we went to a particular place at 5 o'clock in the morning. Motherfuckers, I'm just gonna tell you this. All because I listened, I trusted, and in the moment, because in the moment I could have gotten up in my head, right? Like, once you say yes, and if things start flowing and things start changing, you might be like, no, 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 it was supposed to be like this. You have to go with the flow, okay? Trust the universe. Trust the universe once this happens, and go with what feels right. Because in the moment, we got to the music fest, which was outdoor, which we fucking loved this shit, and it was like, didn't really want to do it once we got there. We're like, it didn't feel right, so we went with what felt right. And before you know it, 5 o'clock in the morning, we are at a place, and it's called, it's this place that says, it kept advertising like a burrito the size of your head. And the person that I was with kept saying, I want a burrito the size of my head. Da, 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 da. And I was like, we'll go there. And when the night was over, when every place finally closed down, we decided we were gonna go get a burrito the size of her head. I get in line, right? And she's schmoozing everybody that's in line. I don't know. And somehow in this line, I forget that we're there to get the burrito the size of the head, right? And I turn around to say something to her, and she's gone. I don't know where she went. She's gone. And I turn and look at the person standing next to me, and I just start talking. And I like they're my best friend. And I start complaining. I'm like, I don't know where she fucking went. What she do? Da, da, da. And they're just smiling at me like, okay, sure. I get up there, I order random shit. Okay. I make it to a table. She suddenly appears. I don't fucking know where she went. I don't know where she been. The person that was in line with me was cat cornered. Okay. There was a dude. Everybody, almost everybody there was semi tipsy. And there was a dude who wasn't Irish, but pretending like he was Irish and singing and saying things and kept like targeting my friend, right? And we're like, the fuck is going on? I look over at the person that was in line with me and I was like, here. It was a dude. He seemed very normal. He seemed very chill with it. And so he comes and sits next to us because somehow he's going to protect us from this random whatever, right? And I'm like, and then she's looking at me like at the food because there's no burrito the size of a head, okay? Because I forgot the moment. And before I know it, Irish dude that's singing and entertaining the entire fucking establishment and everybody's watching sits down next to my friend. And so we're all sitting there and I'm looking at old dude that was in line with me. And all of a sudden I am just look. I am not paying attention to what's happened the entire night because there was no agenda. There was no agenda. I just listened. I listened to spirit and I went with my gut and I went along with it, right? Um, Ended up meeting somebody, hit it off, talking the entire time. I start playing with his beard. I don't know this motherfucker. I don't know him. And in the moment, I'm like, and it all sets in. Sean, you're touching his beard and you are not, he don't know you. He don't know you. And because I'm talking and chit chatting, I'm not fucking paying. And I, motherfucker realizes that in mid playing with his beard, I'm like mortified, fucking mortified, because I realize what I'm doing, right? Because touching a man's beard is like a man touching your ass. Let's just get real. Beard is a very, for those that understand, that's a very, okay? You don't just touch some random man's fucking beard. Who the fuck are you? You know what I mean? You wouldn't go up and just start rubbing on somebody's face. You don't do that. And I look up and he is just enthralled, grinning ear to ear. And he's loving every minute as he's watching me suddenly get mortified. Because I was like, I'm sorry. And he's in it like this. Like I was like, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Okay. I don't know how it got to that place. Because nothing went according to plan. Not a fucking thing. Only it did. Only it did. And I'm like, I'll drop you off. And he's like, I'm within walking distance. He's like, I'll drop you off. At some point, we're sitting there. I give him my phone. He gets my number. I put my number in his phone. When this shit was just unfolding, it was just like we were having the time of our life. Watching this dude that's like, he's given folklore sitting next to us. I don't know why he chose us. I don't know why I called this gentleman over. I don't understand. And how the fact that he was there and I was there at 5 a.m. just seemed so fucking random. Only it wasn't. And I remember him getting out the car. And I was like, I got real. This is when we're girlfriends right now. Okay. I was like, I'm gonna sit on that beard. I did. Cheers to spirit. I'm just saying. But that's what this reminds me of. That whole scenario, right? That whole fucking scenario, right? And you're just gonna have to trust because major changes are coming. Major changes are coming, and something about this, and that's what it feels like. Like it's taking you to where you want to be. All of this unsuspecting stuff, all of this, like it can be so fun. I think you are afraid that it won't be fun, but when you are just all you, uninhibited, all out, balls to the wall, and there's I just it's and I didn't realize until the maybe a week later, um, the truth of what had happened, who I encountered, how spirit just worked everything like that. And I was like, "You sneaky son of a bitch." You know what I'm saying? So all of this is leading you to a King of Pentacles. I'll be on here for forever, guys. Yep, I've been on here for forever. Four of Swords. I do just feel like it's get out of your head and be willing to go out. Four of Swords is kind of like the day trip, or maybe a miniature vacation or a reprieve or just getting away from it. Right? It's the pause. It's the out of your head and into the moment kind of a card. We have the World. Because something's going to like, okay, we have the Eight of Cups. When you do this, okay, they want the World first. Something opens up for you. Whatever this is, whoever the King of Pentacles is, it's the thing that gets you, that opens something up for you. You between the Four of Swords, where you're getting out of stress, you're getting out of like you're getting into the present moment, maybe getting away. Okay. Eight of Cups is walking away from current circumstances, situations, in order to walk into your Nine of Cups, what you really want and desire. So this is going to get you something that you've been wanting. I'm not there's no Two Cups, there's no Lovers, so I'm not going to sequester this just to a love offer. But I am going to say, take something up. If you are offered something and your natural guttural primal instinct is like, fuck yeah, and it kind of gets you away from some things, just know that just like getting away from taking a little me time, having a little fun, like Four Swords is like whatever it is, it's going to get you out of your head and it's going to open up opportunities and it's going to allow you to leave some things behind. So the King of Pentacles is taking you and leading you to some level of wish fulfillment. And you're only going to encounter the King of Pentacles through this. So, trust the universe in this. And do what feels good and right in the moment. And you're going to be very pleasantly surprised. Very pleasantly surprised. Alrighty then. Alrighty. Yeah, that's that. I'm gonna leave it there. I hope it reaches whoever it's meant for. I'm probably gonna come on and do another read for the weekend, so you'll see another live here in just a minute. Yeah, and they're bringing me back to Leo season, so this is probably something that's going to be transpiring within the next 2 weeks. It's a short road, is what they showed me. Dirt path. Be ready to pivot. I hope everybody has a fantastic, wonderful day. Enjoy the AA portal. Have fun.